Creamer Media's Mining Weekly Online is talking to Rahul Jakan, Jovia brand CEO within Dassault Systèmes. Rahul, the world is studying the idea of bringing mining into the 21st century. It's fallen behind quite radically, and there are safety implications, there are all sorts of efficiency implications. It's fantastic that your company now is looking at bringing mining into the 21st century. And can you tell us, what do you think the mine of tomorrow will look like, and how will it differ from what we do today?
Thank you, Martin, first for the opportunity. We believe that the mine of tomorrow is likely to be like a factory of autonomous devices, all the way from ground vehicles to aerial drones, all of which will be operated by young, technology-savvy, qualified staff who will be likely working from remote centers. We also believe that the mine of tomorrow will be much more respectful of the physical, natural environment. We believe it will be also more agile, able to respond to the needs of the end market that the mining sector is supposed to serve. We also believe that, and maybe that's a departure from today's operations, at the core of the mine of tomorrow, there'll be a digital platform, something that allows to connect all the stakeholders, something that allows to link upstream and downstream processes together.
And will this mean that we have technology available now, or do we have to reinvent technology and then try and apply it to the mine?
Well, thankfully, there are a number of technology waves that we can be riding. In our view, the mine of tomorrow will be like a recipe with multiple ingredients. I can maybe think of 5 main ingredients. The first one is the Internet of Things. It's happening in many other sectors. It's going to penetrate as well the world of mining. Second, I would think that the world of mining is the world of the big data, big geospatial data. So there's an opportunity for that big data wave that's happening elsewhere to also apply and bring value to the mine of tomorrow. A third one is immersive visualization, both in 3D but also with the temporal space. That is going to bring tremendous benefits in the dangerous world of mining, especially in underground, for example. The fourth one is platform delivery. The way technology will be injected into the mining operations, we believe, is essentially going to be helped by a platform concept, which we have seen in many other industries. And finally, it's the fusion of design and simulation happening all together at once. It's happening in the world of engineering, and we see a great opportunity for that to also apply in the world of mining. So to answer your question, the ingredients are out there at different levels of maturity, depending on which industry you're talking about, and it's basically about time they also make their way into the world of mining. So we're not reinventing the wheel, we're taking best practice from other industries, mapping them to the specificities of the mining sector.
So that again reminds me that mines have been very slow on the uptake of new technology. They've fallen behind other industry, and now they've got to play catch up. But they also have a very skeptical community. Is there any pilot project or pilot plant that you can show them to convince them that this is going to be possible?
Well, I would say that to your point, the adoption of new technologies indeed faces a few resistance points in the mining sector. So we encourage mining actors to look at other industries where digital transformation has started already. Now, the concept of pilot, it all depends whether you mean a physical pilot, a physical prototype. I would say that maybe the age of the physical prototype are gone, that is gone, and it's precisely the point of 3D software technology to bypass the need to build physical prototypes. The beauty of 3D software technology is that you can create digital twins, which allow you to explore in the virtual world a number of alternatives, scenarios, before you actually go about creating the physical mine of tomorrow.
And we have many people dying in our mines, which is traumatic every time there's a death. Is there any way that this vision that you have of the mine tomorrow can also bring with it safety? We've also got problems with productivity and efficiency. Can these two come together and help the industry?
I would argue, Martin, that these are 2 key drivers and 2 reasons to build the mine of tomorrow. I think that as you mentioned, the safety levels which we experience today in the mining sector are unacceptable when compared with the expectations for safety in the workplace that you have elsewhere. And second, there's also a deficit in productivity in the mining sector that we need to seriously address. So the two things that you just mentioned are core to the necessity to build the mine of tomorrow. And here again, we believe that digital technologies provide a solution to indeed raise safety metrics as well as efficiency, knowing that in the natural resource sector, we're faced with something which we may not see with the same level of acuteness in other industries, which is uncertainty. The environment we live in is the natural environment. It's also natural resources we're looking after, and it's not an exact science. There'll still be a level of uncertainty in the way we identify, model the resource, and this is where technology can help us reduce those levels of uncertainty, and as a result, really bring a step change in safety and efficiency, which have been, I think, the core two metrics that the industry seriously needs to elevate to industry standard levels, I would say.
There's also been a tradition of the mining industry to build big and spend a lot of capital and have a thing that lasts for a long time. But we're living in a new age now with things changing. Do you, or are you able to move away from the bespoke approach and come into a more modular type of approach where you can bolt on as needed and also see how it goes and make sure that when technology changes, you can change with it?
Well, I mentioned earlier when we described the 5 technology trends, I mentioned platform delivery. A platform is actually a digital concept that allows you to bring new technology with much more agility than before. Now, considering the need for modular or bespoke, the ingredients that I mentioned before are also modular in nature, in the sense that depending on the kind of operation that you'll have, you'll need to invoke more or less of some of those ingredients. There will be commonalities, and there are already today many commonalities across mining operations. There will still remain some differences, sometimes owing due to the fact that it's just a different mining method that we use for extraction. So the mine of tomorrow will have, it does have technology that allows to address the specificities of the mining operations with still a common denominator, and the digital platform allows us to reveal the value of those common denominators.
I have normally associated your company with air technology. Have you yourselves moved along to expand and seemingly come into a new industry?
Well, the core industries of Dassault Systèmes indeed have been around automotive, aerospace, marine, offshore, defense. Basically all things that move, either with wheels, with wings, or things like this. But that experience, again, in other industries has taught us a lot of things. And as a result, looking at the natural resources sector here, we see a great opportunity to leverage those best practices inherited from other industries.
That was Creamer Media's Mining Weekly Online, speaking to Rahul Jakan, Jovia brand CEO within Dassault Systèmes.